We are one day away from the release of College Football 27, and man, I feel like a little kid on Christmas Eve. You ever get that feeling in your stomach that no matter what happens, tomorrow is going to be a good day? I mean, that is how I am feeling at this very moment. Because I know tomorrow when I wake up in the morning that I'm going to have a lot of fun. I'm going to go to work, I'm going to come back home, and I'm going to start downloading this goddamn game, and we are going to have a great time. So I want to give you a little bit of a channel update for at least about the first month of the new game, because there's going to be some things happening, and I want to make you guys fully aware of it so you don't have to ask me a ton of questions and wonder where I am. So I am going on vacation. It was probably the most poorly timed vacation possible, but it was way before we knew the release date. Honestly, I thought it was going to come home, and the very next week after I got home was going to be the release date. Unfortunate for us. So I'm leaving July 10th. And I'm going to get back about July 21st, July 22nd, something like that. So in that time, that's, about 11 days-ish, I want to still have content to upload for you guys. It won't be quite as frequent as the first couple of days, but before I leave, but it'll still be there. I'm hoping maybe in every other day. Now, the way that I'm going to do this is basically I'm going to, a little behind the scenes for you, and your other YouTubers do this as well. They record a bunch of content at once, and I'm sure you guys realize this, and then they edit it in, different pieces and segments so that they can then post those videos, at different times throughout the week. You can schedule, videos years in advance. I don't actually know what the schedule length is for YouTube. I don't know how far in advance you can actually schedule a video, but that is basically the inside baseball of it all. So I wanted to put it out there that the first week of uploading, I'm going to try to do every single day. We'll see how likely, I am to actually keep that schedule. I've got some things to do on the, the weekend of the 4th. So we'll do our best to make sure that you guys are getting the content that you deserve. I mean, this game, it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, and I want you guys to, have the most fulfilled enjoyment of it possible. So some other things I wanted to talk about. I've got 2 solidified ideas that I want to start within the first month. One of them is obviously a Road to Glory career mode, and that one is still haven't figured out exactly how I want to do it, what position I want to do. I'm leaning quarterback. I know it's pretty basic, but I think that given the way that I play RTG and given the way that I play on the defensive side of the football, I think playing as a quarterback is going to be the most enjoyable for you guys. May try tight end because it's a brand new position. Maybe we'll try defensive end because it's a brand new position. But I feel like a lot of people are going to be playing as those new positions. So I'm thinking maybe I'll just stick with quarterback. We'll still see on that, but there will be some sort of Road to Glory game mode. I was playing it in the beta. I was having a lot of fun with it, and so I want to continue doing it. I want to, do a full career. We'll see how it goes, see, what the reception is, but that's at least one of the video ideas. The other one, and this is the one I am most excited about, is with the new coach mode, I am going to be doing a coach mode career. Now, this is going to be the way that I see it formatting, and there's some stuff that I'm not going to tell you everything. I want to keep some things a surprise, but the way that I'm going to structure it, at least in my head right now, is I'm going to frame it as some sort of like catching Saban type thing. Now, I don't know how many years of this I'm actually going to do, but the goal is to become the best coach in college football. And we're going to start at an offensive coordinator job at some school that I have yet to pick out. That will be coming, I'll make that decision at some point, after I get the game. And then from there, we are just going to try and progress our career to get to eventually a head coaching position at a good school so that way we can use that program's dynasty budget to then create a powerhouse. The fun in it is going to be the journey. And that's what I am most excited to share with you guys. I think that coach mode is probably going to be the best way to play this game. For somebody who is such a realism, a sim head when it comes to the dynasty game mode, being able to have coach mode and still have control over everything, but be hands-off when it comes to the on-field gameplay is something that really excites me. And I know a lot of you guys are going to be, playing that as well. I think it's going to be a really, really fun series that I do, and I think you guys are really going to like it. And then another one that I'm tinkering with right now, and I haven't really made a decision on it otherwise, and please let me know your feedback in the comment section below on this specific one and all the other stuff that I'm going to talk about too, because honestly, I'm making content for you guys. You let me know what you want to see, and I will do my best to, match up with that. Basically, your viewership is going to tell me whether or not I should continue doing a series. I did it with the online dynasty last year. I basically took that thing to the bone and eventually got to the point where it's like, okay, the videos are doing worse and worse. And eventually it was like a max of like 400 views a video. And the amount of time I was putting into it just wasn't worth it. And so I want your guys' feedback up front on, what videos you would watch, what videos you wouldn't watch. So that way I don't have to waste time making things that you wouldn't enjoy. But the more, you watch a video, the more you click on a video, the better it does, the more I'm able to do those videos because it's a good time, or it's a good use of my time. It's efficient. It's building the channel. So the other one I was talking about before I went on a little tangent is a potential promotion relegation dynasty. This would be one that I do play. The reason I think that promotion and relegation is going to work much better in college football 27 than it will in college football 26, because I tried to do it in college football 26 on my own, and it didn't quite work the way I wanted it to. The reason I think it's going to work now is because of the way that the college football playoff is structured. All of the Power 4 conferences get an automatic bid. This was the big thing that I noticed when I was doing it in college football 26 is that, well, if a good team got relegated to a worse conference, they win that conference, they're getting an automatic bid because they're a top 5 champion. Now it's those 4 conferences plus a 5th one. The way that I would structure it, and this is me just spitballing to you guys so you guys would kind of understand how it works, I would bring back the old conferences. So the Pac-12 would be back to its original state. And when I say original, I don't exactly know what original means yet. Obviously, the math has to work out as well because you'll have independents, you'll have other conferences. But I'll have essentially 12 to 14 teams in the Power 4 conferences to start. So that means some teams are going to get relegated to lower levels. And I have a whole map in my head about, where teams are going to align in terms of their initial spot, their ranking, their place. So I've got that in mind. And then from there, you play a season. The conference championship game at the group of 5 levels determines who is going to get promoted to the higher league. Everybody, the last place team in the first place division, I guess you could call it, would get relegated then down to the middle one. And then the winner of the Power 4 conference title games gets an automatic bid to the college football playoff. That is, to me, and obviously with the Pac-12, you just kind of have to hope that their winner is a top 5 conference champion, which I think they will be. I feel like I'll be pretty hard pressed to not see Oregon win it pretty consistently, or USC at this point, even Washington, assuming that they don't get relegated. But I think that is a potential idea as well, like starting at a low ranking team and then working my way up through the promotion ranks to try and get to that top rank and then win a national title. Let me know if you guys like that idea at all, or if you prefer take a step back and watch this promotion relegation league, not actually participate in it, but be more of an observer of it. Because I'm cool with it either way. I think the idea of promotion relegation in college football is so cool, and I want to implement that into a series. But again, you guys have to, want to see that. So just, again, let me know what you think about that. And then basically the other videos that fill in when I'm not doing one of those 3, because the Road to Glory is only going to go for so long, and I don't really plan on doing more than one Road to Glory. We'll see what happens there. Maybe I'll do some Road to Glory challenges, like starting at a 1-star, see how high I can get. I'm not really sure yet there. But some other ideas, just any one-off video ideas that I have that I think could be fun. Like when you talk about, just like simulating the college football season or simulating the college football playoff just to see who would win, who college football 27 thinks is the best team. So stuff like that. Any experiments? There are a couple experiments and Mythbuster type things that I already have in mind from college football 26 that I'm going to want to implement in college football 27 because it's going to affect your dynasty, and I want you guys to kind of have that idea. Any sort of dynasty related things that I find while I'm playing, any update stuff that I think is important for, any sort of dynasty, because at the end of the day, we are a dynasty focused channel here. That's what I do. I'm still playing in that online dynasty that I was in last year that I made videos on the league. So I may do some stuff with that. I don't know how in depth it's going to be compared to last year. And I don't know if that's something that you guys would be interested in, just because I'm not going to be, unless I can get those guys to send me clips of their games, I'm just not going to be able to include their stuff in the videos. It would just be from my perspective, and maybe you guys would enjoy that. Maybe you wouldn't. I don't really know. So again, please let me know your feedback in the comments below. And then any other rebuild ideas. So what I tried to do last year And hopefully, crossing my fingers, somebody did say auto recruiting actually works this year. What I tried to do last year was I tried to do a James Franklin takes over Virginia Tech, like rebuild, like rebuilding Virginia Tech with James Franklin. The only caveat was that I didn't want to actually control anything. I just wanted James Franklin to actually recruit at Virginia Tech to see how he would do. Well, the auto recruiting is so bad there that it literally did not matter, what I did. If I wanted to maintain that video idea and not be hands-on, there was nothing I could do. The team was going to suck. He was going to get fired. Now, with auto recruiting potentially being better, this is a viable video idea. So, like, if guys get fired, or, we see a James Franklin type situation where he gets fired midseason and he gets hired midseason as well, something like that. Or anytime a coach gets fired trying to do a rebuild of that specific team. And I know there's already so much content like that out there. So just, again, let me know if that's something you would be interested in, any sort of like rebuild challenges. I do have an idea for, and I don't know if I'd make this a series, but for a like wheel of rebuild type thing. And I haven't exactly fleshed it out yet. But it would be something along the lines of, we are trying to do a rebuild at the same time. There is this wheel that if we win a game, we get, plus perks. If we lose a game, we get negative perks. So let me know what you guys think about that. If you think that's a good idea, let me know any ideas within the, the wheel that you think could work. Like, one of the ideas that I had is, if I lose a game, then you spin the wheel. One of the pieces of pie is that this guy is suspended for a game or two, or, he has an outburst and says he's not going to play this game. Something along those lines. And like a perk is like, oh, this guy gets, plus, however many. I would have a separate wheel where it's +5, 1 through 5, plus 1 through 5 of any of these attributes, and then a different wheel that's the attribute for the specific position. So just anything like that. But I did have that idea. I don't know if it would be, something that you guys would like. Other than that, some goals for me. I think putting this out there is, hold myself accountable. You guys can hold me accountable as well. Some goals for me for this cycle of College Football 27 is, I want to at least double my subscriber count. So right now, I think we're coming in at about 4,300. So at the end of College Football 27, I want to at least be at 86, 8,700 subscribers. If we can break that, that would be, awesome. I'd love that. But I'm trying to keep it realistic. I'd like to, keep a pretty consistent upload schedule. Early on, I want to upload pretty much as possible. And then as, the initial, like, hype of the game dies down a bit, maybe it's like an every other day thing. Maybe it's, we try and post 4 times a week, regardless of when it is. Something like that. I'll have to, like, create that upload schedule for myself. But I do want to stay consistent at posting. Maybe it's like 20 some odd videos a month. I don't know the exact math of it. That would come out close to about 4 videos a week. And I guess the last goal is just make content that I enjoy and that you guys enjoy. At the end of the day, I don't want to just make content for the sake of, trying to clickbait, trying to get, as many views as possible. I want it to be genuinely good content that I would enjoy watching. Because at a certain point, you'll see with a YouTuber where it looks like it feels like they've stopped caring. And I'm far too small of a channel to do that. I want to make content that is enjoyable, that I like, that has, you can tell has, there's time and effort that has been put into the videos, and that you can see on my face that I am actually enjoying the content that I am doing. I guess that's the big last one. So thank you once again to all of you who have watched this entire video. You guys are awesome. And I think that it's, it's just now hitting me that in the past month, the channel has done pretty well. I've, basically grown like 25, not quite 25%. I've grown like 15% in terms of subscriber count. My views have stayed, consistently above a level that I've never seen before. The interaction, the comment section has been amazing. You guys are truly awesome. This community that we're building already I can see it. I'm excited to see where we can go from here, what this journey has in store for us, and how this channel will grow and how the community will grow, because, you know, as we continue to grow, I will start to be able to offer more things for you guys. You know, right now it's more of a time balancing thing. You know, working a job and you know, being married and having a wife that I also have to, you know, pay attention to. It is a little bit of a balancing act. You know, fortunately there's no kids I have to take care of yet, but that day is going to come eventually. So, you know, we have to enjoy the ride, and I'm glad that, you know, I get to do it with you guys. So, but that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Catch you on the flip. See ya.